After 7 straight games of pure misery, the Philadelphia 76ers finally get themselves a win against the conference best Cleveland Cavaliers in what was by far one of the most entertaining games of the season. And with this win tonight, even though the Sixers are in full tank mode, the tank will not be affected. In fact, the tank has only gotten better as they have surpassed a team in the lottery odds and now have a higher chance of getting a top 6 pick. But we're going to break it all down here on NZ for 3. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're new around here, but let's get right into it. Like every role player that plays against the Sixers, Ty Jerome absolutely cooked them, going 8 for 8 from 3, scoring 33 points. He gave me PTSD from when Gabe Vincent was playing with the Miami Heat. Before he was known, he was just playing good against the Sixers and the Sixers only. Jerome was giving me the same vibes, but in the end ended up choking the game for the Cavaliers by making a few crucial mistakes. He split 1 out of 2 free throws late into the game and then made a 3 right after, which is cool, but if he made that 1 free throw, he would have ended up tying the game for the Cavs, which was important because they had the Sixers on the ropes. The Sixers were running out of juice, and they may have been able to pull it out if he was able to make that free throw, but it was just crazy how he went 7 for 7 and then just bricked a free throw, one of the easiest shots, and ended up costing them the game. And then he threw a really bad inbound pass all the way to the crowd, similar to what Paul George did earlier, just a horrible pass. Paul George had 6 turnovers, but we're not talking about that. It was just so interesting to see how Jerome cooked the Sixers the entire night, but ended up kind of losing them the game. But the last thing I want to get into is how the Sixers lottery. My main takeaway from this game is that bullying works. I don't know why, but every time Sixers fans get really mad at their team, they start to play better, especially the guys with lofty expectations. We have had to experience and suffer through many games that were completely unwatchable at times, especially last game against the Nuggets. Literally one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life as a Sixers fan. But tonight was the complete opposite because Paul George was finally starting to find his rhythm. May have been a little too late into the season, but it was good to see him finally play like the guy we have been hoping for the entire year. He ended up having 30 points and exploded in the second half. By the first half, he only had 9, but ended up having 30, which is interesting because from what we have seen from Paul George, we have seen a guy who relies heavily on rhythm. If he's cold, he is cold. He will not be giving you anything. But once he gets hot, he can really be dangerous, and he did that tonight. 6 for 11 from 3. The entire Sixers team was on fire. Tyrese Maxey, 4 for 8. Eric Gordon, 4 for 4. Eric Gordon might be completely washed, but as a stationary shooter, he is still effective and is building that trade value a little. Same with Kelly Oubre Jr., someone who I also expect to be gone by the trade deadline. He is one of my favorite Sixers ever. Kelly, his mindset is a blast. When he is on and he is making his shots, there is nothing more fun to watch than him barrel his way to the basket. The type of player Kelly Oubre is who we wanted guys like Tobias Harris to be for the longest time. Guys who had a north-south mindset, who absorbed physicality, embraced contact, and finished at the rim. Kelly just barges his way into defenders, had 3 and 1s this game, which is something that Tobias really never did. You'd see an and 1 from Tobias like once every 7 games, but Kelly gave you 3 tonight alone. I predict that Kelly Oubre will be moved by February 8th, but we just need to enjoy these final moments of Kelly Oubre because he is one of the biggest hustlers this team has ever had in the process era. 13 rebounds as well. Really just goes to show how much Kelly Oubre has changed the narrative with his career. Sort of known as a guy who just took a bunch of shots and didn't really care. Almost lost his career when he was on the Hornets putting up empty stats. But when he came to the Sixers, He really embraced a winning mentality and is one of the better role players in the league. Justin Edwards was another guy who was excellent tonight. I'm so excited that Justin Edwards is finally starting to get some respect by Nick Nurse. He played 26 minutes this game, playing over guys like Jeff Dowin, Reggie Jackson, and Ricky Council. Those two didn't even get any run, showing me that Nurse is putting a lot more confidence in Edwards' development. For good reason, too. He's been my favorite Sixer to watch throughout some of these games because I know what I'm going to expect out of Tyrese Maxey. Paul George has sort of been a train wreck, but Edwards, his prospects as a 3-and-D player is real. He can give you a quick trigger off the catch, drained a couple threes tonight, went 3 for 6, 50%, while also giving you 6 rebounds. Immediately when he checked into the game, he grabbed a bunch of offensive rebounds off a miss and drew a foul. Those type of hustle plays, winning in the margins, is what Justin Edwards does as a 3-and-D player, just filling in those gaps, doing the dirty work for the Sixers on both ends of the floor. What really stuck out to me was how Nurse depended on him to defend Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell throughout the entire game was hunting mismatches such as Eric Gordon and Yabu. A lot of other guys too. He was just destroying them off the dribble. But when he stuck Justin Edwards on him, Mitchell really couldn't do much and had to rely a lot on Jarrett Allen setting screens for him. Granted, Edwards did get caught in a lot of screens, and Mitchell was able to get some points off of creating that separation and draining some threes. It was a problem the entire Sixers have had this game and just this season in general. They're one of the worst teams in the league in navigating screens. They get caught in so many screens, giving a lot of guys open looks. Tyrese Maxey, too. He was having himself a really great shooting night. 4 for 8, 29 points. What I like to see from Maxey is him vary his shot diet. You know, he sort of gets into these mindsets where he takes only a bunch of threes or just only attacks the basket and doesn't try and change things until it's too late. But Maxey has been hunting mismatches similar to what Mitchell was doing, whether it was George Niang, Tristan Thompson, Ty Jerome, or Jarrett Allen. Maxey was finding those matchups and taking advantage of them, knifing his way to the basket, while also using some decent screens by Adem Bona to find some open looks from 3, and whether they were off the dribble or just catch and shoot. He had a nice spin move on Darius Garland to get to the rack. Although the Sixers suck, I still want to see Tyrese Maxey make it into the All-Star game. That's just a Sixers fan in me. He's been carrying this team the entire year after expecting to be playing with Joel Embiid and Paul George. He deserves it. Please, NBA, let Tyrese Maxey play in the All-Star game number 2 for him. But, yeah, that's pretty much it that I got from this game. I want them to tank. I want them to lose. But I can't help but respect the hustle and the fire that they played with tonight. The Cavaliers are a really good team and are at the top of the Eastern Conference, but the Sixers, the underdog, fought their way through the entire game and performed in a lot of clutch moments. They did not adhere to the usual script where, they beat down only like 5 or 10 in the first half to only then just get blown out and humiliated when the other team starts to take them seriously. They stood up to the Cavs and the runs that they went on, and it was cool. It was just fun to watch, just a fun game in general. What even makes it better, though, is that the Sixers' tank job wasn't really affected much. And I say that because the Sixers, according to the almighty Tankathon.com, surpassed the Portland Trail Blazers in the tank rankings. They're now the 7th worst team, according to the website, and have the 7th best odds, pretty much, of getting the first overall pick or at least a top 4 pick, which is huge because there are huge gaps between those percentages. Like for the top 4, instead of being a 26% chance at number 8, you're now a 32% chance at number 7. The Sixers did win this game, but they so did the Trailblazers, so there really isn't much that the Sixers have lost from winning this game. Even though they won the game, we kind of want them to tank because we know the season is a wash. But that's all I got. If you all stayed until the end, I appreciate it. be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I will be streaming the game against the Chicago Bulls, so come and hang out with me. We could chop it up, talk about how garbage the Sixers are, whatever is going on. We will talk about it and suffer together. But thank you all so much for all the support. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Peace.